Hey guys,
Hello,
well,
my.
oh, I didn't realize you were doing the intro this time. Go ahead.
No, no, no. You can do the
No,
intro.
no, no, no,
Freaking time.
snacked. It's already too late. You started, so go ahead.
Also, does
Ha-
Snack ever do the opening?
No, that's why I'm saying she should go now.
I agree.
okay, okay. Hi, fellow he, she, theys, and gays. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This intro is
Best
already
opening
terrible. I
ever.
regret it.
Best
Um,
editing. I can edit. I can edit. Don't worry.
I had to make it. I had to make it catchy, but
I
yeah.
just want to say, everyone has two wolves inside of them. Me and Radicor, the one who tells you everything you do is shit, and the one who tells you everything you do is great.
Okay. So hi, welcome to Breath of Fiction. I'm Get Snacked, otherwise known as Gajima Bro, and for this week, we are doing the Kimetsu Media discussion.
Kimetsu
So
Media
yeah.
Verse. Kimetsu Media Verse.
I'm still trying to get the hair gel out of my hair from last week's episode. That Yu-Gi-Oh hair was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Oh my god. Okay. All right, guys. Do we want to introduce ourselves?
No, I'm Dan, also known as DCC Rules. You can tell because I'm the one shit posting.
And I'm Radicor, otherwise known as Stressed as Desserts. And you can tell because I'm the one who normally just laughs as Snecked fails. Oh, and we're also joined by Sar, our illustrator for the Breath of Fiction, and our next guest, who has been on and off, but is here right now.
California. You can tell because I've never actually been to that state.
But you've spoken a few times, so I'm sure they know who you are. At least the people who do watch us, anyway.
Good to hear.
Yes, the people who watch us, because those exist.
I mean, it took a while for some people to get running, but hey, it did get running. So there are people who watch us.
You know what's an easy way to get something running?
Threaten them
Don't.
with a DMCA.
I was gonna
I was gonna say just threaten their entire existence with a
grab the chainsaw.
DMCA.
Okay. We all here? Okay.
Yeah,
Except for Sparta.
Sparta might
Being
show
a
up.
bitch.
We'll see what happens though, so don't worry about it. But yes,
Yep.
Next, you were saying about what this week's episode was today?
Kimetsu Media. So basically, it's a media corp. Everyone works for a media corp, like BuzzFeed, but less, how do I say it, millennial.
Well, I mean,
know.
the idea is that they are working in a corporation, a media production company, but it doesn't just have to be a BuzzFeed-ish, like, online internet, that kind of stuff. It can be in newspaper publishing, tabloids, YouTube, in like Facebook, Twitter, whatever, like any sort of media, social media, whatever. Yeah. So let's just imagine that and I'm assuming that we can start it off by saying that the Kimetsu Media company or conglomerate or like industries, I don't know, like I can't a group. Let's call it the Kimetsu Media Group, just because I think they would sound like the type of tycoons, the Ubiyashikis, to just absorb companies for a while.
Proposition for you. There are two media corporations. Kimetsu Media and Kazuki Media.
Well, groups. Let's call it groups. I'm assuming that. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? We could say that maybe Kimetsu Media is a corporation, and it's the Kizuki Group because the demons have just been hostile takeovering everything.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so we'll do it that way.
So we're doing a corporation war. Got it.
Big businesses going at each other.
Let's do some good 1900s muckraking. Okay, never mind. Let's go.
All right.
I don't know why. I'm just picturing Gyomei dressed up as freaking Sherlock Holmes, and Tsunemi's like 1900s, not 19th century.
1900s are the 20th century, Gyomei, not the 19th century.
I thought this was the 20th century. No, this is the 21st century. they go find the next one. I don't know why. They just do.
I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. But anyways, so speaking of Gyomei, I believe we had a discussion about what kind of role he would play. So, does anyone want to elaborate on what
Oh
role he would
yeah.
play? Would our Gyomei simp like to elaborate?
Okay, so like Gyomei
Just
is like
calls out.
y'all know. Okay, if y'all read the new fan book, you know he's the biggest fucking shipper in all of Kimetsu no Yaiba. So because he's the biggest fucking shipper, what better role for him than at this tabloid? Dude who runs the tabloids, okay? So he's like that mustache dude from Spider-Man, but he runs like a tabloid, which is less
J.
news and
Jonah
more gossip.
Jameson is honestly
Yes.
a respectful, like, newspaper person in a lot of media. Like,
Yep.
he's a little shitty, but
I don't
Yep,
know. It seems.
however-
I don't know. The
Exactly.
new Spider-Man universe theme doesn't. It makes him look more like a right-wing, like conspiracy theorist corporation guy. Not gonna lie.
sometimes, but when you like strip away the perspective of Spider-Man, you kind of see where it's from.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense.
Anyways, that dude, Gyomei, is not him because he lacks morals and lacks respectability. Because his job is to run the gossip tabloid, which is to dig up dirt and lots of it.
But he
He has
primarily
tabs on every single.
Keep going.
He has tabs on every single celebrity relationship within a 50-mile radius.
I was
Yes.
based on the discussion we had on Discord with another group, like this wasn't in like the main server, which we all know and love. But there was like the idea that because he's the shipping person, like he secretly has tabs on his tabs if they're like the people he would ship. So imagine if any of the pillars or any of the like demon slayers in canon are in the mediaverse and they're tabbing other people like the celebrities, little do they know that they are being tabbed themselves for the romance. So he's making the most out of it.
I just had the dumbest thought. Gyu selling Gyomei information on his relationship with Shinobu.
That was the
In
idea.
exchange for.
That was the
And
idea on
just
the Discord
on
server.
it.
You were saying?
Oh, in exchange for?
For money.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
So
either-
Gyomei's like, listen, like I will pay you to tell me everything that goes on between you and Shinobu. And Gyu's just like, how much detail?
No, and the idea is that Gyu doesn't care because he's like, yeah, me and Shinobu are a thing or whatever. But Shinobu cares a lot about what people think of her and Gyu. So he's like, don't tell anyone anything. Something like that. Even if they're friends. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd imagine that Gyomei keeps very good tabs on the Kocho sisters, just as a point of being
Oh my-
from canon.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
It's a
God.
picture of Shinobu from a fat angle, and it's like, is Shinobu pregnant? Question mark, question mark, question. Interview with you. Yeah, we had sex like 3 times in the last week.
No, he wouldn't say. No. Gyu wouldn't. He wouldn't reference that. He would just say, "Rumor has it that that the two of them had sex together 3 times last week." He wouldn't directly say Gyu's the one telling him because otherwise Shinobu might get really mad at them.
Yeah, you know, what's the word? Confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, basically plausible deniability. As long as you don't say who.
There you go.
Yeah, as long as you don't give enough information that only Gyu would know, and it's plausible someone would have found out. Given, like, let's put it this way. I
listen,
think that
there might
Shinobu.
be a guy looking in on your windows. There might be a
Well,
camera
either
hitting it.
way, I think that
You don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, like, Gyomei would obviously do the tabloids under an alias. Like, we had a couple ideas for it in this server when I originally came up with the idea, but moving on, like, he has this alias, whatever it is, okay? And Shinobu and Kanai, nobody knows who it is. So, but they do know that said person has influence in tabs or whatever. is Gyomei is able to somehow play off that he's just the one getting the information when in fact he's the one actually making it instead of just receiving it and publishing it. So
Oh my-
Shinobu doesn't. Shinobu, whoever, when she realizes that this guy is publishing information about her and Gyu's relationship, he's like, okay, it's this asshole again, and not necessarily like somebody. And he's like, and she has reason to believe that someone's keeping tabs on her, not Gyu feeding the information as a mole itself.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about Shinobu, I feel like she would definitely have like a medical journal or something.
Hmm.
But what would Shinobu's role be? Because we've said, let's put it this way: obviously the Ubuyashigis are the head of the Kimetsu Media Corporation, but and Gyomei is the head of, or rather, the head of publishing for the tabloids. Although he is the secret editor and writer of it, so to speak. So, what would Shinobu be in this corporation, if you will?
Quick question: is Kane alive?
Yes, let's just put it for this instance. Yes, because we could say that maybe she was forced out of the corporation if you want to do a whole Doma knocks her out or something. But we can say that she's alive in this sense.
So I will say, as the older sister, she probably has the higher position. We could say that, Kane is, maybe the editor-in-chief of, a medical journal magazine or something. Or maybe, she's an editor and maybe the editor-in-chief could be someone like Tamio. But either way, you could have Shinobu be someone who, like either drafts up or, references research articles, interviews, medical professionals, things like that.
Yeah, I feel like Tamio could be also like in a high rank position in the medical journal. Maybe like above the coaches.
Like what if Shinobu's the chief medical correspondent and then Tamayo's the chief of the department of like focusing on the media department, focusing on global health matters, if you will. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, honestly, when the one thing about this, which makes it a bit weird and sad, but also like interesting to do, is that corporations and media actually have a fair bit of bureaucracy, despite me hating it so much, to be quite honest. So it's like there's positions for this,
yeah,
there's position
absolutely.
for this. Like, oh man. But
Well,
yes,
here's ultimately the reason why you have all those positions is bureaucracy, as annoying as it is, makes sure shit actually gets done properly.
unless there's too much red tape, but that's another conversation.
Yeah. There's a
Okay, so what do we so what if actually I'm thinking that because we have like let me think. Honestly, Shinobu and Canon is better at first aid and poisons and medicine than Kanai is. Like we see that in like they see that in the light novel too, if you will. Okay? So what I'm thinking is, what if Kanai is a reporter, is one of like the anchors for like the nightly news or whatever, something like that.
Mhm.
Anyone think that's good?
Okay, yeah. Like,
Just because I feel like she has the temperament.
oh,
What?
yeah. What if, I don't know. What if Shinobu actually gets some dirt on, like, a newly approved medication? But, like, this is, like, I don't know. I'm thinking of another thing. But it's, like, very high profile. Like, this sets off a, like, I don't know.
Okay.
well.
Why did I just think of that?
Going off your starting point, here's another thought. We don't have demons in this AU, but maybe we have something similar. All characters in the Kazuki media, maybe they have something going on. Maybe it's a drug or something that they all take. I don't really.
Cocaine.
You guys can.
That's the high class stuff back in the day.
And maybe Shinobu publishes an article on whatever they're taking, or a way to break an addiction to it, something like that. Does that make sense where I'm going with this?
No, I see what you mean.
Oh, so like it sets a whole chain of events into place.
Yeah, essentially, she's the one of the like. Let's put it this way: I'd assume that the corporations and the Kimetsu Corporation and the Kizuki Group, if you will, have a rivalry just because they're the biggest players in the media industry, so to speak. But I think that perhaps they take pot shots at each other, or they just swipes at each other, if you will, every so often. But then Shinobu's thing kind of starts a whole blown like one of the worst like spats they've ever had in recent years.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay, so
if
I
you
got
can,
this idea.
so like, hold on, I'll just put this as an analogy. Like, you remember? Had anyone watched the Godfather movie by any chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, remember like when like Clemenza's telling Michael like how to shoot a gun, and he's like, yeah, every 5 to 10 years there's like a war to get all the bad blood out or something. So like Shinobu would be the start. Shinobu's article would be the start of a new war, if you will, because it's not a spat. It's a full blown like, yeah, you screwed up. This is gonna get nasty. But yeah, go on.
And then as soon as she starts that, probably the second shot fired will be Duma doing something to Kanai.
Maybe
I have an idea.
Ooh, I got an idea. Here's an idea. What if? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just quick. What if Gyomei's not the only one keeping tabs on Kanai, and like for whatever reason, the tabloid section of Kizuki is keeping an eye on Kanai and Sanemi, and then they release something on it.
Oh fuck.
That's a thought.
I was thinking, so Shinobu wants to investigate this a little more. So she does some like undercover like snooping around. And she and Kanai go to like apparently they get a lead to the facility where the the drug is being manufactured. And then they like try to sneak around, but then like someone catches them, and then they like run, but like someone like shoots Kanai and puts her into a coma. So like, that someone could be Doma, who's also been walking around on the grounds to patrol the area.
Another interesting thought. That's another interesting thought. Two things I want to say. One, maybe the way she gets more information is because someone defects from Kazuki Media, either say Yushiro or Tamayo, which would kind of fit with them being demons who kind of went over to the other side. We could say, oh yeah, they used to work over there and they didn't like it. They came over here. They told us all this stuff, and Shinobu kind of pushes out an article about that. The other thing I want to suggest is, Kazuki Media isn't really on the level. They do things wrong. So maybe Duma's tabloids, he doesn't get this stuff because he's keeping an eye on you. He creates the drama. So
so he's
maybe
full blown. He's basically full blown.
Takes her
I'll
to
publish
a
whatever
motel
the hell I
room,
want.
sets her up. Yeah. See, like puts her in a hotel room with some illegal substances. Calls the police after photograph. Like, I was hearing complaints. I was, whatever excuse he comes up with. Has her caught, doing illegal drugs kind of thing. Something like that.
I mean, maybe, but I also feel like at the end of the day, like when we say snooping around, that kind of thing, and shooting into a coma, like the idea of this entire fighting would just be pot shots in the media. Like the idea is harm the other person's reputation, not necessarily knock
like
someone out into
Gossip
a coma.
Girl.
Yeah. So the thing is, the thing I have is that the reason I don't think the whole coma doma thing would work is just because like that's not the best way to make the situation worse for Kimetsu Media. It's to keep her well enough, but to ruin the reputation. You know what I mean?
Which is why I suggest forge something really bad. Plant illegal drugs on them. Maybe frame them for some other crime, or even set them up to make it look like they're having an affair, something like that. Just try and ruin their reputation by actually making something happen rather than just publishing.
I think the affair
stories.
thing would probably do something. Because, like, let's say Doma, I think we could use that concept of the affair, like that incriminating stuff, if you will. Just because, like, we could say that Doma kept tabs, and then they saw, like they had like a whole Senemi Kanai thing, and then they're like, oh look, Kanai's not being faithful, something like that.
Or even maybe Sanemi comes home and finds Duma in his bed, and Kanai isn't necessarily there right now, but that's still like what the fuck.
That would,
And
yeah,
it's
that
like, oh shit, she told me she was gonna be here. Oh fuck! And he tries to frame it as that because I feel like once again, just publishing a lie wouldn't be enough. They would have to try and make something look like, you know what I mean?
that is true. That is true. But here's the thing, though. I think if we did the whole affair thing, because I'd assume that Gyomei published something about it already, it would kind of like Kimetsu's beat has its own tabloids used against them because Kimetsu's been running their own tabloids on themselves. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, that actually yeah, that's actually a clever play on Doma's part.
You know, that's what I mean. It's open to debate, but I think that could work. So, but anyway, moving on from the whole Kocho Gyome Goma thing, let's consider some other characters. All right. So, what do we? Obviously, we have the whole. We've kind of did the whole traditional newspaper publishing tabloids. Let's get into some other forms of media. Who do you think would be the social media people at Kimetsu Media?
Okay,
Muichiro.
Muichiro. Yes, that would probably Muichiro and Yuichiro. Because let's say Yuichiro is
Oh my
alive,
god.
right?
They're like the hip Gen Z people.
No,
The
no, no, no. Here's
TikTok
what they are.
twins.
Here's what they are. They're the interns because technically, even though they're unofficial heads, if you're gonna make them younger than 18 at this point, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
You know
they're
what
the
Mui and Yui
interns.
would be?
They're the
I
interns,
had a
legally
motel
speaking.
You guys are gonna like this.
What? Go for it.
Mui and Yui would be the Pauls.
No. Oh my god. Uh, no, but anyway, yeah. But
Yuichiro signs up to fight a boxer, while Muichiro goes to a forest to like photograph dead bodies.
oh my god. Oh, no comment on that, man. I thought I thought Muichiro was. I thought the Tokito twins were better than that.
They probably would be, but I'm just like
No, they're not the Paul. Oh my no.
No, but yeah, they're the ones.
But I
so
do think they would definitely be like social media managers. They would probably each run their own TikTok and kind of like
TikTok,
go back and forth.
Instagram, Twitter.
I'm gonna prank my brother today.
Something like that. So they're like, okay, so they would be the social media people. That's fine. Do we think that they would have someone like maybe they have guests every so often? You know what I mean?
Mhm. Oh yeah.
They just go around the office and like every couple days they just kind of like drag someone into their TikToks.
Basically.
Hey Tanjiro, like hey Genya, can you do the Savage Love dance with us?
They have they have hairstyle face-offs, and then they bring in Genya and then some other people, like just to do the comparative hairstyle, if you will.
Oh my
I'll whip
god.
my whole mohawk back and forth. I'll whip my mohawk back and forth.
Oh, that's old, man.
Or yeah.
Okay, so they're the social media savvy people, but we're getting a little bit like too general. So who do you think the YouTubers would be, or do we think that like because obviously I would think that the YouTuber division at Kimetsu Media would probably be bigger than just like the social media division in general. You know what I mean? Because everyone could do it. Like, do you think it's more of a group project?
I feel like they probably would have a group project kind of thing, comparing it to other media companies I know of who do, produce a lot of video content. If you look at something like Rooster Teeth,
I knew that was going to go there.
I'm sorry, they're a good comparison. A lot of the talent tend to have their own, secular projects. Either you sometimes you're an animator, sometimes you do writing, this, that, the other thing, and then they kind of film things together in the office. So maybe that could be the YouTube side because I feel like a lot of these characters, like none of these characters really feel like scream YouTuber to me. Because OpenEye and Rengoku, I feel like are too serious. Even Giyu, I feel like would be more like reporting, Uzui definitely is into music. Tsunemi and Mitsuri, I definitely see as, like, she is the love blogger. Like, she is essentially Dr. Love. She has her entire, like, column. She message board. People ask her for love advice, etc.
Okay, I see what you mean. So Mitsuri would be like a YouTuber and like website manager, if you will, with running her own website, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Zar just had a great point, and this is actually a good thought. What if, like,
Yes.
are just Let's Players?
Oh
Like,
yes, Zenitsu. Yes, that would be good. Zenitsu. Yeah, good
like,
job, Zar.
yeah,
People remix his
who
reactions.
plays.
Like Zenitsu would be like there's gamers in there, so yeah, but that could also be like as for not just YouTube but gaming division. Yeah, Zenitsu would be the horror gamer. I feel like
Like,
Inosuke would be like that YouTuber who does stuff from Jackass just because he can.
yes, but I also feel like, and I have no justification for this. I feel like like Inosuke could be like a pro gamer.
So he's the Leroy Jenkins of the group whenever they go into games.
Yeah. I would say like those three would probably be like the main Let's Play group. Like just those three. Maybe Kanao comes in and plays with him sometimes, and she's really good. Like she's more Inosuke, and then Tanjiro is kind of just like the leader of the group. It's like he's like the main face of the channel. It kind of started with him, and he brought the other two on. You know, and he kind of like organizes things. He manages the schedule and stuff. He tries to keep everyone on the level. You know, like Inosuke will like to play pranks on Zenitsu. So when they're playing a horror game, you'll see like Tanjiro sitting there, helping and guiding Zenitsu. They're kind of talking together, and then Inosuke is constantly trying to scare the shit out of Zenitsu.
And then Zenitsu just yells, and then like into him, and then basically
Yeah, he's like,
no wait, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't put that in. What they would do is that the editing division would mute his screams. Well, here's what they would do. They would mute his mic, but his scream is so loud you can still hear it on Inosuke and Tanjiro's mics. Like whenever Inosuke is like being the guy who's screw around with him.
I also think Zenitsu would probably become really good at video games if he passes out. Like
He's
just
the
all of a
sleeping
sudden
gamer. Yeah, he's the sleeping gamer.
yes.
Oh, what you know how like some they do on Twitch sometimes where they do a donation and then like the auto text generator speaker like says something on Twitch, right? Anyone else know that? No.
yes.
Okay, well, for those of you who do know, those of you who don't know, like you can just go to watch Twitch. But yeah, so what I was thinking is they could have like streams where Zenitsu, like if you get a donation, Zenitsu has to do something, and the most requested donation during like the hardcore gaming stream days is that Zenitsu drink like melatonin, take melatonin to fall asleep in the middle
Oh
of
my
gaming.
god.
So you can see him just go all out when he's sleeping.
Or they just bonk him and knock him out.
Either way, the main request is knock him out so he goes into sleep mode while gaming.
This makes me think though, some of the like subscription effects they might have would be like Zenitsu going Tanjiro, and like Inosuke being like Kamaboko Gonpachiro, just like stupid little lines like that. Oh.
Inosuke, one day, like when they're playing a game, like and they have to make the characters, Inosuke for some reason was put in charge, and then he just puts the names of everybody to what he says, and also for the entirety of the game that they're playing, Kanjiro is literally just Kamaboko Gonpachiro, and then Zenitsu is Monitsu, just for the entirety of it all.
And the best part is he also handles the character design. So when he's doing the creative character, they're like, "What is this? It doesn't look like me. What are you doing?"
Inosuke is normal. He's got like the boar head, but Tanjiro's the tanuki, and then Zenitsu's like the rat person or whatever.
And they're just like, the fuck does he keep finding these boar hats? I can't find them in the options. How does he do it?
He secretly gets somebody to code it for him.
It's Kanao. Kanao's a freaking genius. She does everything.
Yeah, that would be in there as well, I'd assume. All right, so where did we want Nezuko to be in? Do you think she'd just be a recurring guest? Because she would be kind of young, also.
Yeah, she's young and she's cute. So, what can someone very like
She could
young?
be like a vlogger.
No, she's
Yeah, she
Mitsuri's
could be a
assistant.
vlogger.
She's Mitsuri's assistant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because she is also Mitsuri's biggest fan.
No, what if Mitsuri does the whole? It's cute. Like, there's an idea, like a stream or like blog or channel where she does like rating cuteness things or just like cute things, and then she has Nezuko as like the eternal cuteness like assistant. If you will.
Yes.
What I would think is like maybe like Mitsuri isn't great at like the technology stuff. Maybe she's too spacey for it. So like Nezuko is like her like co-host and assistant who like helps her like this is how you do the camera and you want to like sit and look like this. It'll make it look good. And, all that little stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because believe
yeah, but there has to be something where she gets like they show off how
recording
cute she
things
is.
is more difficult than it seems.
I mean, yeah. Oh, but speaking of which, what if there's like what if for like Mitsuri's like videos or like websites, there's always like a giant spam of bots like boosting the numbers artificially, and they're all from the same guy, but they can't figure it out who. And he goes by the alias like Masked Snake or whatever. And we all know who it is. He's the one. He's like putting bots to like upvote Mitsuri stuff artificially. No?
Aha. IT guide to
What
the
if his
rescue.
username is something that just sounds really bad, but he doesn't realize it, like the eternal love of my snake or something?
Venomous love, something. Strangling love, something.
My snake slithers for you.
Toxic love.
Nah, Toxic Love. That sounds like that's the song from that like our Australian movie with Robin Williams as a bat. Man, does no one else know what that is? Man.
What, the movie or the song?
The movie. The one with like the Australian like ecology thingy. No? Okay, that's fine then.
The rescue?
Oh, Fern Gully. That was it. Fern Gully. It was the Fern Gully.
Oh, yes, Fern Gully.
Oh, that song. Yes, I
love
recently.
that one.
Oh
yeah, no, that's where Toxic Love is from.
Yeah.
Well, there's like at least 2 songs called Toxic Love.
No, that's the one I remember. But anyway, moving back.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Tainted Love.
I got to run away.
I always think of Coneheads. That movie is so good. He's just making a golf club while he has to fight this freaking Rancor thing. And he's like, sometimes I feel I have to get away.
Okay.
God.
All right, so
calling it now. Next week, Coneheads AU. No, I'm kidding.
We were kind of on Obanai. So what do you think he is? Like you said, he was kind of IT support or something, Snack. Or do we think that he's? But I think he should be more than that. Don't you think?
I feel like Obanai could work, as like the IT manager, like because that's actually a hell of a job. I've heard of a few people who do it for like big companies like that, where it's like all those servers and stuff is a bitch. But I also feel like if he wanted to, he could probably be a good like field reporter for like like the news media kind of stuff.
Okay. I
mean, or he could be like a critic.
Environmentalist, specializing on snakes.
Yes. Okay, yeah, he could be an environmental reporter.
Or he could also be, more focused on, like, say, social work. Like that.
Well, he's a correspondent for something, but at the end of the day, like, we should include what did the mask do? Because I can see why, like, an IT consultant or someone who handles like all the hard like IT stuff and connections might wear a mask as well. You know what I mean?
I just know he won't be in marketing.
No, he would not. No, he would not.
If he was in marketing, everything would have Mitsuri's face on it everywhere.
And Sakura Mochi would be a thing.
So Mitsuri the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
Mitsuri, the giant-headed Godzilla. Everyone loves it.
I would unironically love that though.
I would buy it if it
Tsunemi
came
would
out. I
probably
would.
be great in marketing. I feel like he low key would know exactly how to sell things. Because he's just so freaking deadpan. He'd be like, "Nah, man, listen. This is what people want. Just fucking do it."
This is what they want. So do it. Just do it.
Like a very analytical type dude. Oh, Sonam, yeah. Okay. Sonomy in marketing, though, he would just scream at people. He would be like, "Hey, what the fuck is this? Like,
Who keeps trying to push all this Mitsuri merch out?
Yeah, who the fuck keeps pushing this Mitsuri march? I said it doesn't work. Look at our figures. Look at our sales. It's
People
not
only
gonna
want to see
work."
one thing, and it's not her adorable face. Just open
Everybody knows Kanai merchandise sells more than Mitsuri merchandise. We all know that. So why aren't we pushing that? Is his secret agenda?
The sad truth is, it's probably true.
It's like we don't need a pink. We don't need this Mitsuri stuff. We need Kanai stuff.
What if they're both on marketing and they just fight with each other?
That could be.
What
it
if the
too.
the 21 group is like marketing? And like Sanemi and
Obanai is 23 though.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Obanai is 21.
I thought he's 20.
I'm just imagining Gyu is in marketing, but Gyu is the guy who designs everything. So he just does whatever he's told and he doesn't care.
Gyu, give us some sexy merchandise.
No, it's a three-way deadlock between Gyu, Sanemi, and Obanai because they all put on a push marketing around their respective interests.
Just Sanemi and Obanai are arguing over who should be on the merch, and then like Gyu's over there, and they're both yelling at him to draw something, and he's just like, "I put Shinobu on it."
Or he's like, "I put salmon daikon."
One of the two. No, and the sad thing is they have to go with salmon daikon because it's the least objectionable out of the three.
We'll just market this using
these salmon daikon earrings are selling like crazy.
No, here's the scenario. They're arguing, and then they're like, Gyu, draw something. He draws Shinobu. He's like, no. And then he draws salmon daikon. And then I think one of the higher-ups in the media, I think like Kirya comes down. He's like, where's that new marketing stuff? And then Gyu, and then you have 5 minutes to get me something. And they argue for another 5 minutes, but then they end up giving the salmon daikon. Then Kirya asks, salmon daikon, really? And then Gyu's like, it was the only thing we could agree on. And then the other two just sadly look, they kind of just look annoyed and sad, but they all kind of nod their heads like, yeah, that was the only thing we could agree.
Maybe Sanemi would actually push for Ohagi.
That could also be it. But then I feel,
just Gyu makes Ohagi merch. I mean, for you.
No, and then Obanai pushes Sakura Mochi because that's what...
Yeah.
Or I think it was Sakura Mochi or Dang, I'm not sure, but I think it was Mochi. Yeah, Sakura Mochi that Mitsuri eats.
Yes.
Like they start low key pushing food based merchandise based on what represents the women they love.
And Gyu pushing salmon daikon because that's his thing.
On to Rengoku, the man who when he sees a hole he wants to jump into it. He is, of course, an adventurous reporter.
So he'd be like the foreign. So he'd be like the foreign correspondent, if you will, the head of like the global stuff. Do you think, or like no? I think he would be the special advisor, or like or something to the head of the global department because he just likes jumping into stuff. So he likes being out in the field, so to speak.
Oh, like he is polylingual, but he's not very good at them. The
problem is he screams every language he speaks.
Like buenos dias, senor.
And one time, one time he gets like punked, and then he's like, "Don't worry, the taxi cab said they would be here," and he just waits the entire night while the taxi cab just drove off to go deliver other people. instead of just coming back to get him or something. Like he's the type. I feel like he's the type who would get in trouble just by like trusting the locals a little too much.
Oh yeah, he's way too trust.
Can I suggest something that will make you guys sad?
How
That
he
will make us
dies?
sad. Okay.
Yes.
Donuts?
Rengoku, he's out. He's reporting on some kind of violence. Maybe it's a war. Maybe it's gang violence. And Akaza shows up. And Akaza's just beating the shit out of everyone. And he doesn't even care. He punches this reporter right in the chest. And Rengoku's like, well, shit, I'm going to keep here, keep reporting, keep the camera rolling. Doesn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, they would pull the. I think they would pull the broadcast for first of all, given like the whole nature of Kimetsu media and Western reporting. But,
I know. I just wanted to.
No, but I mean, but then that would mean Akaza's not in Kizuki Media, which we haven't elaborated on that much. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So let's just say, for all intents and purposes, Rengoku is. Just say Rengoku is in the. Yeah, he's the head reporter because he doesn't want the administrative stuff of like the global division. So he's the one going across the world to do all like the in-field work, if you will. That's good. So have we not?
So remember how I said how the Tokidos are the Pauls?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna bring that back for a second. Akaza is like a famous like either boxer or like mixed martial artist, or even like he does multiple athletics.
He's KSI.
And Kizuki Media literally the Kizuki. Yeah. Yes. They invest even in like sports and stuff. And Akaza is essentially their friggin' ace in everything, and all the sports kind of goes under him, even though he doesn't have a proper management role. He's their main person. And at one point, you have one of the Tokido brothers challenging him to a boxing match like it's KSI. Although I guess it'd be more like Floyd Mayweather at this point.
I don't know. Floyd Mayweather's gonna crush Paul. That's just my thoughts, but yeah. Anyway, so we could have that.
I just wanted to share that thought.
No, that's an interesting thought. We'll elaborate more on that later. There's one we kind of glossed over him because it seems so obvious, but obviously the whole in Kimetsu Media affiliates, if you will, we have Uzui being the music guy, if you will, right?
Yeah.
So is he like
the head of Kimetsu, the Kimetsu Music Media, Kimetsu Music Publishing? Let's say that.
Kimetsu Media Records, something like that.
Yeah.
No, wait. It would be Flamboyant Death Records, and it would be a Kimetsu Media record label.
Subsidiary.
Yeah, a subsidiary of Kimetsu Media. That's what it would be.
Flamboyant Death was his band name in high school with his 3 wives.
Yeah.
Yes.
They considered naming it Flamboyant Menage a Trois at first, but that was a bit too forward and.
It would be, his original name was Polysum.
But
he's like, nope, we can't. It would be Quadrasum instead of threesome. He's like, yeah, there's no threes. There's 4 people here. That's what he would think of initially.
And then they decided not to call it foursome because 4 is bad and is bad in Japanese, and that's how they got Flamboyant Death. They just took the sum off.
Yeah, basically.
Loaded diaper.
You know how that works.
Sorry, I don't know why I thought of loaded diaper.
That's from like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so we've covered all the we've covered the main characters, and we've covered the Hashira for the most part. Okay.
What about Murata? What do you mean we cover the main characters?
Well, is Murata a main character?
Obviously.
Okay, I'll admit that in Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Murata formula is better than the Yamcha formula in Dragon Ball. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yes.
But
okay,
I mean, do we think that we want to go into Kizuki Media now?
Yes.
Okay, so first question: what is Kokushi?
He's obviously gonna be very high ranking. But he's not gonna run tabloid. Um,
I think he'd
I
be like
feel
the
like
martial arts guy. The martial arts, like the whatever, something like that.
I
or
want to
the
say this.
politics one.
I feel like Muzan wouldn't want to be a public figure, so he would be the owner of the Kazuki group, but he wouldn't officially be in the Kazuki group. So the CEO would be Kokushibu. That said, Kokushibu probably would have his hands in at some point a lot of the associated brands. So he's probably done some of the athletic stuff. He's probably done some publishing, some
Actually,
video content.
why don't we do it this way? Since it's a group, and because it's basically done by hostile takeover, we could say that Kokushibo is the chairman of the board, even though all the board is essentially subordinate to Muzan's investment into their companies and will, so to speak. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we could do it that way. Like he's not the CEO so much as the chairman of the board, but he's the only one who knows like who's actually there, but nobody knows who it is. You get me?
So we
Oh,
said,
yeah.
so we said Duma is tabloids. We
Yeah, no, and
said
then like you could say Kokushibo is the chairman of the board, and then the other Kizuki or certain other demons are on the board itself as part of the heads of their individual subsidiaries, if you will. So we could
yeah.
say like Kokushibo is chairman of the board, even if he's not necessarily in charge of a particular subsidiary. Whereas like the media, the traditional media arm, which deals with tabloids and newspapers, if you will, is under Doma's. Like Doma's like the head of that, and the sitting on the board representing that.
Whereas sports media would fall under Akaza, and then I'm gonna say that new media and content creation would fall under Hantengu. And this may sound weird, but hear me out. Hantengu, in the canon, his blood demon art splits off into these like children. Well, what if, in essentially the same way, Hantengu's business spreads out to these children that he like essentially abuses in his system, almost like a multi-channel network. If you want to go back in the day, um, where that's essentially his entire business model. Hantengu is abusing young creators with a multi-channel network.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
And of course, he represents like 20% of the main, you know, petition to the Kamaboko trio, because he probably has like hundreds of you know relatively small to medium and a few big channels under him that are all just like sucked dry and abused.
Okay, I see what you mean. So let me
Yeah.
think.
Well,
No, keep going, keep going. I'm think. There was an idea. I see what you mean, Fantango, but I'm trying to think. What would Yoko would be like the art world or something, right? Obviously, I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah, I was about to say he would be high art. So a lot of art investment, art.
wait. He runs all the shopping channels with those jewelry and like fashion stuff, like the QVC, that kind of stuff. Like he has like
Maybe
control over it.
I could see that.
Okay, so okay, but you had an idea, a further idea for him. You keep going.
Well, what I was gonna say for Gyoko was high art. So art auctions, art buying, art charities, museums.
He's
He has
also a critic.
that.
But one of the most feared art critics, I guess.
Yeah, you never say shit about Gyoko's art because he will rip yours to shreds.
Yeah. He's like Anish Kapoor, except like a little more unhinged.
Vanish Kapoor meets Banksy meets yeah.
Andy
Banksy.
Warhol?
Maybe. Bro would probably be, you know, if the more illegal side of operations would probably be managed by him. the the front for his part of things is securities. He manages, um, their in-house, armored carriers, um, their security officers, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, they come across as, your classic, these are the night guards, these are the people who watch over, your important locations. But there's way too many of them, and they're way too well trained. While they come across as, just, you know, security officers, they're really, his personal enforcers who, when they need to crack down on someone, they will shake them down. And then, of course, Daki, you know, she has two faces. Her OnlyFans,
Instagram and OnlyFans.
yeah, Instagram, OnlyFans. That's Yume.
TikTok, Twitch.
That's the public face. Makes her look good. Then you have her account Daki, who she uses to bully, demean, and pull under her wing other models. She doesn't do porn. No, she just does her OnlyFans. But everyone else, oh, she's gonna push you and pressure you. She's gonna throw you out of business unless you start posting porn.
So
you
she's
want to
like
be
the
able
honey trap, if you will. Something like that?
kind of, but she's more like an abusive madam, if you will, but for the internet.
Ah, okay. So she's jostling with influence from the Tokito twins, then.
No, I don't
and
think
Mitsuri to a bit.
Tokito twins, because the Yume persona is its own thing, but it's very focused on female models. Her entire goal is to demean and control modeling, and she kind of
Basically, like Tyra Banks.
Okay, I see.
And part of what I'm thinking is she pushes everyone who gets involved with her to do porn, and specifically because she can use it as blackmail. Yes, it's out there. Everyone can find it. But, if she makes that public, if she, sends it up to Duma, well, you're not going to have a career modeling. Not after that. That's how you got into modeling.
Okay.
So like Tyra Banks, but like more unhinged.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Doma obviously would like be a rival tabloid like editor-in-chief, right?
Yeah, we said Duma would be head of the tabloid, and what would you call that? Fringe media?
I think it's more like when tabloids is fringe media, yes, but I think there's a better word for it. But you get the idea. We get the idea.
And Moo would obviously be pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who? Enmu?
Enmu?
Oh, okay. I thought you said. I just heard Moo as like. I thought you said Muichiro. I'm like, what? Like, did he defect?
What about also marijuana?
That's pharmaceuticals.
That's if it has to do with drugs and pharmaceuticals. That's Enmu.
Yeah.
His specialty is dealing. His specialty is dealing with, like, sleep drugs.
And now this is a bit of a stretch, but we could put Rui under, their overall IT department. And I say this.
He has the spider strings.
Yeah, he has the web. The strings are kind of like wires. Organization. He has people under him already. He delegates that kind of stuff. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch, but I feel like it works.
He could also be in charge of, like, he's the counterpart to Gyomei. He basically the people who keep tabs on people that aren't already assigned to, like, Daki or something. Like, he's the one who handles the majority. Well. Yeah, he handles the majority of that, and he feeds information to people.
I can actually think of someone else who might compete for that position. What do you think of Yahaba doing that?
Yahaba?
Oh,
Yeah.
because he has eyes in his hands.
And he can use them to track.
I mean, I feel
Remember,
like he would be the head. I feel like here's the thing. Yahaba's good, but I feel like he's like the elite tab keeper, if you will. You know what I mean? So like he's the best
so
at
like
it,
he
but
would work under Rui.
yeah, he would work under Rui, like obviously, because here's the thing. Yahaba is good, but yeah, Rui can, thanks to his fight abilities, like cast a wide net. Yahaba is more like a really strong thread that's only one thread. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we could say Yahaba works for Rui is in that respect. And then
And
Susamaru.
yeah. So mixing a few things here. People under Akaza in the sports field, if they start to, lose their reputation there, they can go under Gyutaro. They go from being in sports to being in the securities. Someone who excels in both, though, would be, their big female star, rising star, Susumaru. She's like a multi-athlete. She's incredibly athletic, incredibly powerful, and just blows people away. For a lot of people, they see this young woman and like, wow, women can do anything, but they don't realize, behind the scenes, she's doing some dark ass shit.
Yeah, that could.
Doping?
Well, maybe that, but I was thinking,
Maybe.
also like she's probably working in the securities and she's probably killed people.
She moonlights as an enforcer, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, okay,
kill
makes
people.
sense.
I assume, like, just like a minor note, but I think one of the people who keeps tabs on the people would just be the swamp demon, because like, yeah, he would work, and he would also work with the security people because he can like trap people in the swamp, so to speak.
Indeed.
So he's kind of like in there, both of them, if you will. So then, what do we think? Is there anyone else now that we've kind of taken up the main character, the significant characters in Kimetsu no Yaiba, in certain points anyway? Who do we want to focus a little bit more on? Like we could do our OCs, but that's a bit of a stress because we have considering the time we have. But we could go on to some of the minor characters in KNY if we wanted.
Aloy and
So DCC, I know you said we were talking about the Murata formula, dude. So what do we think Murata would be in Kimetsu Media?
Clearly he's Murata. He would be, a wealthy media mogul. No, I'm fucking around. Lord Murata.
I think we can make it both work. So like Murata, he seems like your average run off the mill like guy. Either he's like a reporter or like an editor. Like he does like a normal, like a pretty non-conspicuous job, but he has another side to him, which is he's actually a very successful like businessman because he does a side hustle, and he actually like he's got a shit ton of money, and he lives this double life.
Something. He's basically inconspicuous to a fault.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say he's kind of like Jamie from the insurance commercials, where it's like, wait, this freak is like successful and has a beautiful wife. What's going on here?
No, Murata does commercials. He's in charge of commercials because like you don't really see him in them. You know what I mean? Like he's the one who like heads up the commercial department, or is like involved in it.
Murata is a very plain guy, easy to slip by, and in the canon, he is like he's introduced to us against Rui. He could be another surveillance person, like a plainclothes, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. He could be like, "Oh, don't like, don't kill me. I'm just your
Okay,
humble."
so we went from media mogul to nobody to head of a department to now getting his ass kicked by Rui again. Murata, we're trying, man. We're trying.
He can be all four.
I never said anything about his ass getting kicked. I just said, he could be, like he could be one of Gyomei's informants.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but that would be funny if he just, even in Kimetsu Mediaverse, getting his ass kicked by Rui and his informants is still His steak.
Sparta.
Eh?
Terrible thought I just had.
My. Oh, look
I
who
just
it is
thought
in the
that-
chat. Sparta showed up.
Yeah.
Wait, Callie.
Yo.
Callie, you don't want to hear the thing? Oh, man. I have to show you another time then. And he left.
Wait.
I was
What
gonna,
are you
s-
getting?
No,
I was
remember
gonna say,
the
what
editing
if
thing?
Murata and Ozaki are engaged, and then Rui kills Ozaki?
Guys, we
Oh,
forgot.
no.
Guys, Sparta, say
Hello?
hello.
Hey, how's it going,
Sparta.
everybody?
Good, you
you
missed.
you just in time for us to end the podcast.
Wait.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait. We forgot one other person, and I'm sad we forgot. We chose Murata over this person. We forgot to put Aoi in there.
I
Oh my
said Aoi earlier.
You
Did
don't
you?
tell me you forgot her. Come on.
We didn't really talk.
I didn't
She got one line. Murata got a bunch of at least 3 minutes of talking about him. We got to give more time.
Well,
Come
it's
on.
funny to talk about Murata.
Well, let's talk about Aoi a little bit.
Yeah, come on. Let's talk about Aoi.
Aoi is a bad bitch. She probably is. I would say she's an editor for the medical journal, not an editor, but like an editor. Just because she's smart, she knows what she's doing, and she picks up everyone else's messages.
Okay, that's fair. I mean that would be Aoi in general. But here's the thing. Like, do we want to make the butterfly trio like the general assistants that run around like helping out people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could do that.
That would
Like
be
The,
so
the,
cute,
the,
honestly.
the triplets are just the fucking interns.
Well, they're not triplets, but they're like the helpers, the volunteers, the people who are like it's like the Butterfly Mansion or something, whatever one.
Honestly, that'd be pretty cute. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Aww.
they sometimes appear in certain like media productions and whatnot. Like that would be pretty cool.
The way you phrased it, I just imagine him popping out of nowhere. So like Zenitsu is playing a scary game, and then Inosuke jumps out and scares Zenitsu, and Inosuke's laughing, and then the three just pop up. Hey Inosuke, what are you laughing about? Holy shit!
You know that would
And
that would be it.
he probably like I don't know. He probably spoils Sumi. He's like, hey, don't tell them, but I got you an extra cupcake from the refreshments stand. So like,
Something.
shh.
Do we
Yeah.
actually? Now that I think about it, on the last note, do we want to include a role for the crows?
Mascots?
I mean, yeah, the crows would probably be one of the mascots of like the company.
More
Yeah.
Therapy, like on-site therapy animals.
We could also be therapy animals. Yeah.
No, what if Kimetsu Media, the Kimetsu Media Corporation, has like if you can bring crows to work and then they serve as like therapy animals during it, but they can also fly around the office. They can just do whatever they need to.
Yeah,
Also,
Like-
That-
it's like
So,
flying
what,
cats.
what if the pros is just like a term for the like private network?
yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Although, like the idea of therapy crows is also cute.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
I like
see
that.
no. The reason I think like one of the things that would make Kimetsu Media Corporation quirky is that they're allowed to bring crows into the office because that's their mascot, but the crows just fly around and sometimes they scatter papers and other things, so then it's just partially chaotic every day inside the corporation as it's going on.
What do you mean by other thing? Because given that
Shit, they won't be
some,
possessed.
as I say, some of those other things ended up on my car a couple days ago. So
Oh man. I feel like they would be
Oh
smart
my
enough.
god! So
They'd be smart enough to
one
know
time
not to do that.
Gyomei tries to bring his cats to work.
Dude,
You know what
Uh-oh.
happened?
the birds just start swarming around the cats and shitting on them literally.
oh no.
After that day, he's not allowed to bring his cats to work.
It's
And
bring your
Mitsuri can't
crow
bring
to
the
work.
rabbit. Can't bring her rabbits there either, and the bees either.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Shinobu doesn't bring her gold. Well, I mean, she could bring her goldfish, but like she gets a whole portable tank and everything. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaboromaru is there too with Ultimate.
Hey, I gotta ask. So earlier, did you guys discuss having like a 24-hour news channel associated
No.
with this?
No, we didn't necessarily. We had a news channel discussion, like we'd said, like maybe Kanai is one of the anchors, if you will, and then we have some other people maybe, but we didn't exactly say 24-hour news.
I just
I
Kawugamaru is probably OpenAI's editor.
Yes,
Snake?
yes, that would probably be
the
it.
snake is the editor.
I don't know how the snake reads or how it uses a keyboard, but it is a fantastic editor.
It just
it boops each key.
yes, it
It's
boops
new.
each key like it taps each key with its snout.
They just come in one morning and Kawugamaru was doing an all-nighter, so it's passed down on top of the computer because the computer is hot and it likes the warmth.
Essentially, yeah,
He's
that's
just
what happens. Doing a what, Snecht?
I don't know. He's doing well, I don't know. I don't know what rat snakes do. He's doing a slap.
I guess so. Now that we're kind of going into minor stuff, we didn't talk about anything with the blacksmith village. That's sad as well.
They make the software.
We can always do they could be the IT department too.
Yeah, or maybe the cameraman. Support staff.
That could be.
That's great.
Oh yeah, the cameraman or the Kokushi could be the cameraman, and the blacksmith village does all the maintenance.
Yeah, we could do that.
The blacksmiths are the one in charge of getting the hardware of the technology.
Exactly, and like they're in charge of procuring like AI technology or like
they're the ones who give the technology, like get the technology for the media company.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking Tanjiro drops a GoPro and Haganazuka appears behind like you dropped my camera.
You dropped my GoPro.
I spent a year working on that model. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you.
Do you know how many megapixels and how many hertz that thing puts out? I don't know what you just said.
And then Petchin just says, "It's okay, we'll get you a new one. It's his fault for making one that was so low specs anyway." Yeah. I think.
What about like Kotetsu is an engine? Like he's like
he's another volunteer or intern. Okay, he's not.
Yeah, or like
He's not like in charge of anything at this point.
Yeah, but he's like a very wide-eyed, like fresh intern.
Basically, yeah. So
right,
I think that's about it. So if anyone has any final comments, then let's go here and up now. So
I just want to say thank you to Carter for being such a pillar of this episode.
I mean, I'm sorry I was late. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. That's all.
Okay, we forgive you.
Yeah.
Aw.
Nice, man.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Let's see. So, you have any last words, Snecht? No?
Stay tuned, guys. Drink water and stay fresh.
Okay, DCC, you want to go? That was pretty lame, Snecht, not gonna lie.
I left all my treasure in one piece.
Yes. Actually, that would be my last. Sard, do you have anything to say? Or are you good?
Ever since, pirates from all around the world have gathered to search for One Piece, the treasure that can make their dreams come true.
Sar's good. Okay. And as for what, now that we're going into manga and anime, the most meta thing is that they do publishing there, and the publishing department puts out a manga based on the characters, and it's Kimetsu no Yaiba. So our canon Kimetsu no Yaiba is their version of a story involving themselves.
Sequoia Gotake is employed.
Exactly.
By Kimetsu Media. This is a mindfuck.
It's I love when we can just meta.
Gyomei walks up behind Koyohara one day and is like, "So, I see you're killing off an awful lot of characters, and I don't like that."
Yeah, well, why are you killing off all of our office staff? Come on.
Are these my kids? I don't know how I feel about this.
Why did you kill my sister?
Shinobu and Gyu, we're not an item in the manga. What is wrong with you? They just comment to her.
Yeah.
Just good to go Togi thinks back to all the trauma that has been inflicted on them by this. Like, oh, no reason. It's not like this place is toxic.
It's not like this is
Why,
true.
why did me and my husband die in each other's arms?
Something like that.
Why did you have to kill off all my family, including Genya?
Yeah.
I know if you hate me, but like, why Genya?
Why did you never let me meet Sayo again, even though you killed off everybody else?
Is this a threat, Gotoge? Are you gonna like take legal action against me? Like I don't know what's happening.
Also, because of the Sayo comment, are we gonna say that Sayo is Gyomei's actual daughter?
I don't think it makes a difference, like either blood or adoption.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay.
Well,
Again,
at
I
least,
said
yeah.
it would be pretty funny if he lives a double life, so she doesn't know what he does for a living. He never takes her on like take your kid to work day for a good reason. She never managed to get into his office, which is a good thing. Because he'd rather not her find out what he does for a living.
All right, it's been like 2 minutes since we signed off, so have a good night.
All
everyone.
right, hold on. Hold on.
Good night,
Okay, so
everybody.
everybody joining us tonight on the Breath of Fiction for the Kimetsu Mediaverse, thank you for joining. Sorry you kind of did a little bit longer, but hey, it's a good topic. Am I right? Who knows? We might revisit
It's a
this
very
in the
good topic.
future. Where hopefully Sparta will be with us the entire time. But anyways, from all of us here, thank you for joining in, and we hope to see you on our next episode. Okay, so until then, bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye.